Ingress Special Edition podcast. Again, we did it once before, but that time it technically was a Good Geek of All Trades, wasn't it? We just kind of...
Which one? This is our third one.
All right, we did have another one too.
Yeah,
that was the other first one was a meeting of minds over Ingress,
Yeah.
and there was Geek of All Trades with Fav.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and now this is just, fuck it, we're calling it Ingress Special Edition. New things have happened, so I've gathered round me some of the oldest agents in the game.
Most senior agents.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Because neither of us are oldest.
I think
I'm the oldest one in the
person
room.
who plays like regularly. In the beginning, I was the
That
youngest
might very
person.
well be.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we had the first supper at Applebee's, I was afraid to go in because everyone was old and scary.
With me today, of course, I am Andrew. Got Amanda to my left.
Hello.
We've got Sir John across from me, and joining us for the first time, Simon Miller.
Hi.
One of the longest
Hi, Simon.
activated agents in the Spokane area.
From time to time.
From time
From time to time.
From time to time, I was one of the first. Sometimes I'm not, he says. So really, this was kind of thrown up into happening because of the iOS release.
Yes.
So all you Apple freaks, I mean, people who like Apple iPhones.
Can we just agree to call them fruits?
Fruits. So all you
Oh,
fruits
see, that's
out there
fair.
that have been listening to us talk about Ingress and all this crap, and you can't talk about it, you can't play it, you don't know, well, you can now. How's that? Yeah, dead silence.
Mm-hmm.
Woot.
Pretty good.
It's a video, so they can see me nodding.
Yeah, we're all nodding.
This is the bobblehead special edition.
I was able to tell a guy at work that he could play Ingress now.
Oh, yeah?
And he was like, what? And then someone crapped themselves and he had to go help them, so.
Oh, well, that's an unfortunate crapping stance.
Oh. By the way, let me just say, this is also going to be the most pun-filled one that we've had in a while.
It's probably
Because
because Simon's here.
Mr. Squishy can pun the hell out of things.
Yeah, if you've ever heard us say Squishy, it's him. We try to avoid using real names on podcasts until they actually agree to either be on them or have their name said. So, here he is.
I'm that guy.
He is that guy. He seems nervous. Okay, so iOS has been kind of threatened a lot, but for those of us who've been playing since the beginning, it was always kind of a "it's never going to happen" thing. They always said it was never going to happen. It's
I
never
was
gonna
more
happen.
surprised when they dropped 8 new levels before iOS came out. I thought that was
I
almost
agree.
insulting.
Yes.
Wow, to iOS people. It's like it seemed like such a far off, whole different universe, galaxy kind of dream that I was baffled when they even.
Now, have you actually used the iOS version?
I have. There's a few differences. Animations are a little bit smoother, but kind of. Have you looked at links yet? Has anyone looked at links on iOS?
Oh, I haven't even. I don't
Links
know.
on iOS
I've
have
played
more of
with
it has more of a kind of a Vegas Strip kind of look to it instead of. For those of you who can't see the video, that's me moving my hands in a strobe light motion. So it's got more of a kind of a jagged look to the motion, but at the same time more fluid. It's hard to explain. It's kind of a.
So it's jagged, but it kind of looks like it's supposed to be jagged?
Yeah, it looks
Not
smoother,
like it's
but
just
it's
bad
got some
polys.
problems to it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no portal submissions in the client currently.
Oh, that's weird.
There's no
There's
passcodes.
one whole badge
There's no,
you can't
there's
get.
no. Besides that, there's no passcodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they're talking about this new Eve medal, which is a medal you get. You have to fill out a form from Brian Rose, where you have to recruit 3 new agents, and if you want to do that on iPhone, you have to hold on to the passcode they send you until they've actually added that into the game. So it didn't even have Master Cycle when it first came out, which is
Yeah.
have you guys talked about that since that became a thing, Master Cycle? Okay, no. So it hasn't even just got that yesterday.
Yeah.
Master Cycle
I find
has
that
changed
funny.
my
They
life, by the
also
It's changed.
they also dropped some iOS version support, which seems
It's-
like a big
it's-
deal until you
it's
realize that
technically-
nobody uses iOS 5 anymore.
Oh yeah, 7 and up.
Yeah.
And have you looked at the current version of the game?
I haven't looked at the most recent one, but I have used it on iOS.
The one that came out when we had our version was 1.56. Theirs was 1.53. So it was behind quite a ways. So it just caught up, but it's still missing features that were in the game from day one. So that's interesting.
I wonder if the lack of submissions is kind of a harbinger of things to come.
I hope
Yeah.
so. Sure, add them back later, but after you take seer out.
Or reduce it to make 200 the highest. Because 200 is horrifically ambitious. There's one person for probably, what would you say, 200 miles around?
At least.
Rounded. Seattle has a few platinums, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
But there is one person in Spokane, like the greater Spokane area, this half of the state in the Panhandle, that has 200 plus portals approved.
Wow.
And
GFY.
GFY.
Yeah.
Well,
And
If any player deserves that name,
But he doesn't even play anymore.
No,
he
he
got his
hasn't-
medal while he was inactive.
yeah, the turnaround was about a week, and now at one point it was about a week,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
my
Now
record
it's-
is 6 days.
My longest record is close to 200 days.
wow.
So
I just got back a December one last week.
yeah. There's a lot of new ones that have snow on the ground. It's kind of like, oh, it's Christmas in July. So.
Actually, it was a December 26th that I got back in July, so it really was kind of Christmas in
I
July.
remember GFY we were out, and we were in the valley at one point, and I submitted a portal back in, I remember, there's about back in January, and I said, well, I'll see you in June. Didn't show up. He was late.
Yeah,
Still not there.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
feel like they're going to have to do something with submissions.
I-
The player
I read-
base has gotten too large.
I've read multiple times, if you were limited to 200, 200 is satisfying. Like, I have 200 in the game, then you would back off, or other people could at least try, but
Yeah.
it was
I
so,
feel like
that 5,000 was
pretty
so
soon-
staggering in the
Yeah.
beginning, so many people tried for it, that it's dried up.
I
I'd
would-
say
yeah.
90% of
I would-
metropolitan portals are dried up.
At least. I would say that as the player base increases, they're going to have to kind of either remove submissions or make them put an obstacle in there. Remember back when you used to have to submit portals by emailing them?
I do.
I don't think it should go quite that extreme, but maybe remove the in-app submissions and make it just a share intent again. Remember, you
You
could
can-
share a picture to NIA ops. through
You
the
can
share
still do it
intent.
now, but it opens the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they went back to that, I think that might be a step forward. But right now, there's too many players for too few potential portals.
I think what Andrew was saying about just removing that
As a medal,
Mhm.
as a requirement.
completely, I think that's what they need to do.
I would like
because-
to see that medal remain. Alter the specifics on when you get them, and make it to where it's not something that counts for leveling.
Or keep it 5,000 and just say you can add pictures, because then it'd just be willy-nilly pictures all over the place.
Yeah, and there's a lot of portals out there that need pictures.
That's
Oh, yeah.
true.
There's
I made an entire city go live.
I think it was.
I literally made.
It was Anne, the
Mhm.
NIA Anne. She.
Butte Mueller.
Okay, well,
I thought it was
did-
Bettenmuller.
See, I didn't want to be the one to butcher it, so two people did it for me. So I
Hey,
just called her
from
Anne.
Germany, Reisenhuber. Huh.
Miller.
Xander.
Multiple syllables. Yeah, two.
It's still multiple.
Multiples
bitch.
of more than two.
You know what else is more than one syllable? Ingress, the topic. So.
So glad you came to
This is what this podcast has needed all along. It's someone that will keep us on topic.
Oh, I'm not usually that guy. This is weird. Yeah. I think that bottom line, I'd like to see Seer's what we were talking about. I'd like
Yes.
to see Seer stay, because it's cool. Because that's the only thing where you truly have a lasting impact on the game. Because that's what
That's true.
I told GFY in the end. I'm like, even if you quit, you still. I check every day. I check his profile every day, and I'll see the number just continue to go up. I watched it in 1 week. He got almost 30 portals back. It was
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah, he has done a lot for this. For not just.
He's in
Spokane,
multiple
but-
states.
Yeah.
He's, panhandles.
region.
Yeah, so it's. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
one thing if once you hit 500, they start paying you per portal submission.
Yeah.
that would make sense, but 200 is pretty impressive. So he's the only gold seer for
Yeah. I mean, I'm close.
Yeah.
I'm at like 160, I think.
142, 45. I jumped up this week.
Yeah. I'm at 160 something. But I really do think that they need to start incentivizing people to get portal pictures submitted, and the
Mhm.
piddly 500 AP that you get for getting one accepted is not an incentive.
I think if you were to get a picture live and it got to the front, it should
Mhm.
count.
Yes. Yeah.
You can't have it taken away. Of course, you could popularity contest and like game it. We're like, oh, let's just all do a mob of we'll all upvote an entire farm to one guy and the next one. But
yeah, or even
there's worse ways of manipulating the game. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, the game really is about working as a team. So even if
you worked as a team to cheat, I really think it would still be the spirit of the game.
I feel like that's not that big of a deal for things. I mean, how many of us worked? How many of us worked to get him to level 8?
Yeah.
And I mean,
Well, the thing is, it's a stupid medal.
All of that.
It's a stupid medal at that point. Like at the point it is now, it's stupid because it's. If you get bronze, that's like, wow, that's cool. In my opinion, that's cool.
I have 7 more to silver.
Silver is ridiculous. The fact that, like, I remember I hit 100 in January. I'm like, wow, I'm halfway to the middle medal. Like,
yeah.
For those who don't know, the way that this medal goes is it's 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
10
is the first one.
50, 200, 500. And so far, that sounds logical, right? So let's go and take the second most, and let's take the 500, and let's skip straight to 5,000 because that's the hurdle. It's ridiculous.
It's not just unique to this particular medal.
No.
There are a lot of the ones where the black or onyx or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
But the thing is,
too
those
high.
are all still reachable on your own accord. If you wanted
30,000 for explorer.
Yeah,
I'm confident that's doable. That it invokes world travel. I mean, you have that,
right.
But it's like I have new goals in life.
You have to go to Europe, but you can do it.
20,000 for pioneer.
Yeah, some of those are a little stupid. Like the one that I think the builder's doable. I mean, if you travel
absolutely.
a lot, if you're not very social and you travel a lot, I think that those higher end ones are cool.
Builder kind of makes sense. Builder is 2,000, 10,000, 30,000, 100,000, 200,000.
Yeah.
That's a nice kind of
logical
even curve.
That's the one I'm closest to for platinum.
Yeah.
I'm about to hit 40 on that one. But when you think about that, it's like, oh, 40, just 60.
Mind controller makes sense. It's also 100, 500, 2,000, 10,000, 40,000.
One that doesn't make sense is Linker. Take a look at that one. That one's
depressing.
That one's very depressing. I've had that one for a year.
That one is 50, 1,000, 5,000, 25,000, 100,000.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff's got missed there.
Actually,
I feel like
if you look at it though,
they
they kind of depreciate the amount that they times it by. So it goes times 5, and then it's only times 4, so it's not that bad, right? No.
I feel like they would just like spray numbers at a wall and went, those numbers are pretty. They're nice even numbers.
When you think about it, we were at the point, what would you say, a year and a half ago, where we were, there's nothing to do.
Yes.
There's no goals,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have to take it as a positive, but at the same time, wow.
I would say it was a positive if it wasn't a requirement for leveling. When they brought the medals out, I was saying the same thing, these are ridiculous, but they don't mean anything. They're just bragging rights.
Right.
So you kind of want the bragging rights to be high. Now that it is actually a requirement for leveling past level 8, they have to be more careful with it.
I think there should have been new medals for requiring, like, getting up to the levels.
Mhm.
Like, things that require either a group or some sort of specific, like, missions that are coming out.
Yeah.
That's what should have taken.
Yeah.
That's a new addition to missions are coming out.
Yeah.
I'm super
I
excited.
have said it 1,000 times even before I started. Well, actually, no. On a previous podcast group that I used to be part of, I used to bring up that all these hints about new levels and everything, and I said it's not going to be about AP, and if it is, it's not going to be just about AP. They're going to bring out things like missions that you're going to have to complete to get to that level, or at least they damn well
Joe
better.
Philly's been talking about missions for what, a year now?
Well, the thing
Or
that
more?
I just put the pieces together when we had our whole fiasco-tastrophe 2012, where he was like, maybe the two teams need to work together for a greater threat. I'm like, what could that be? I just now realized the closest thing they've come to in this entire time is the MU count to get over the virus.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's that.
You got to remember, Philly's one of the main writers of the storyline.
Yeah.
He's probably
The
had that
fact that
written
he would
out.
be leaking and spilling like relatively major arcs a year and a half in advance.
I
that
don't
are
know
like,
that he's
He
leaking
didn't
them.
expect
I
you to
think-
remember that.
I
That's
don't-
a long time.
I'm going to be
Every
speaking.
time I
I'm going to be
see-
speaking to him come September 25th. So I'm going to be bringing that up to him. Like, oh, I remember the Alamo.
Is that the event?
Yeah, me and my friend plan on driving down to Portland
Oh, for
in
NL.
January. We made plans to drive to Portland in September, and this magically happened to be the weekend we were going to go. So bonus.
And that's the NL 1331.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
And then also the Tacoma event. He's probably going to be there too. Or no, that's a secondary, isn't it?
It's a primary. It's the finale primary.
Oh God.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah.
I just knew it wasn't. I was going to go as soon as I knew that it was an event in our state.
Well, yeah, I'm
But
going.
Not only that, for those of you who don't know, a primary is big. The 13 Magnus was really cool. That was in Seattle. It was big. But there's something special about a finale primary. That's where everyone shows up.
Yes.
There's like, what would you say? At least 2,000 people will be there.
Mhm.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
Plus all of Niantic.
Yeah, the primary that we went to in Seattle was probably the most fun I've had playing the game.
This is going to be on a whole, well, except for the fact it's in Tacoma, no offense anyone. This is going to be on a whole...
Boo. I put up there, motherfucker.
Okay. In fair defense, I went to a paint party at the Tacoma Dome, so that's part of why it was a bad experience.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
Also, it was Saturday and we couldn't figure out where everyone was in the middle of downtown, middle of the day. We're like, there's no one out here. It's like a ghost town. So, it's going to be crazy because that'll be the most people I've ever seen in Tacoma, and it'll be a lot of Ingress. So
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the event, especially
I'm
now that I know
actually
it's the
a little
primary
concerned
finale.
because I've noticed the 13 Magnus was relatively small clusters within walking distance. Then I noticed that Recursion, when we had here in Spokane,
It's huge.
It was fucking huge.
No. That was I thought that was big at the time. In Montana, at the Enteritus Montana event, we literally had to drive 15 minutes by car to get to the other clusters. It was simply absurd. No, and here's the other thing. At that point, they had moved volatiles out of the cluster.
Yeah.
So you had to have people work. The only thing that they did that they have fixed is fielding no longer nets you the game.
Yes.
Fielding only gives a 25% bonus instead of...
The fact that it's a percentage now, I don't even care what number percentage.
100.
The fact that it's a percentage is huge. You know, it used to be just points. And
was it 50 points or 100?
It was something ridiculous.
It was something that literally tipped the game in an unfair way.
Yeah.
Where if you... Because fielding's difficult. Fielding is an investment of time, all capitals, exclamation point money.
Yeah. A lot of money.
Yeah, because it's... Yeah,
when
it's
we fielded Spokane...
You have to have people who are competent, and I will leave it at that.
The last time we fielded Spokane, we weren't able to do it for an event because, no offense, I hope you guys are listening, the people that were running our Anomaly Intel sucked.
If you're listening, the same guy that I met in Montana, but...
Yeah, I'm over it. But,
no bitterness!
Clearly.
when Simon and I and probably 4 or 5 other agents, no, probably a half dozen agents, fielded Spokane, there were probably $300 worth of gas that it took,
I'd say that's
all
fair.
told. Now, it was an 11-layer deep field, so we had to get a lot of keys. But yeah, it's very expensive to field. And if you're talking about something like Seattle or something that has a lot of links, you're talking thousands of dollars of investment in gas just to field.
Yeah, so fielding's really difficult, so I'm glad that thorn in more than just me, but my side is gone because I hated it. I hate fielding to begin with. That's why. Yeah.
Alright, guys, time for a break. We'll see you in a minute.
That's a sick beat, isn't it? Want to hear more? Of course you do. So head over to headyworks.net and check out Galaxy Labs. He created the track tickling your eardrums right now called Stamina, as well as our title track, Destroyer. You can find info about all his live performances and upcoming releases there, as well as other artists signed to HeadyWorks. You can also find him on SoundCloud and Facebook. That's Galaxy Labs at headyworks.net. Let the wubs destroy your brain.
Welcome back to the Ingress Special Edition podcast. We were talking about iOS, sort of.
Then a traumatic train wreck happened. We veered deep into the ocean of small talk, so...
Man, don't get me started on fucking metals.
No, we're done. Metals. iOS! So, yeah, it's got bad things, but we expected it. It's iOS.
Took almost 2 years of talk and preparation to put out an unfinished product. So it sounds like it fits right in with the new iPhone 6 coming soon.
Yeah, no shit. But the iPhone 6 is going to be magical and levitate, right?
It's got a really nice glass, but it's not perfect, as MKBHD pointed out.
Yes.
Just don't carry sandpaper in your pockets. It's the one thing he mentioned. So
Sapphire screens do need to happen everywhere.
they probably won't, though, because it's patented now.
It's not so much that it's patented as that Apple has currently owns all the suppliers.
That paper's thing.
But no, I mean the coming out on iOS is one of the best things that's happened to this game in a while, because what we've really needed is new agents, and this is bringing in a lot of new agents.
Not just Apple. Like, I've actually seen only a few iOS people, and the only iOS people I've seen that got brought in were people that got brought in.
Family members.
Family members, friends, who can soon understand that weird thing we do late at night in Hilliard. So,
We're not drug dealers.
All the business owners.
They all love us.
The biggest flux I've seen is in new Android players, and I think it's because of
All the press that it's gotten
It's
now
the
that it's on
hype.
iOS.
yeah, it's funny. It's like what'll happen to NFC when Apple invents it in 2 years.
Well, wasn't it Android Central ran a story about it coming out on iOS? iMore ran a story about it coming out on iOS. I think Android Central at least reshared it on their services.
Well, and as soon as it happened, you see them brag, "Oh, we're in the Montreal Times and all the little tiny newspapers," and they announce the iOS, and suddenly they're in the New York Times, and big publishers are talking about it now, and...
I mean, in reality, if it would have launched hand in hand, like simulcast, it would have... I don't know how you simulcast is the word there, but simultaneously, it wouldn't have been like that. I think it was really... I think it was perfect the way they rolled it out.
Have you read the comment threads on the non-Android, non-Ingress sites that talk about it, like The Verge and Engadget and stuff like that?
I can imagine it being deplorable.
It's hilarious because in every tech non-platform specific website I found, there's been at least one person bitching that it wasn't on Windows Phone yet.
Oh, I know. Oh, God,
and I feel like it's the same guy.
Windows Phone, please! No.
I refuse to take this app seriously until it launches on Windows Phone.
So you're going to
refuse to
take
take
every
you
Google app
seriously
because
you have a
seriously?
window
too?
How are we not sure this isn't just Brian Rose making multiple accounts? I can see that as something he would do.
That man is an enigma.
The thing is, I thought it was weird. When I first got on Google Plus 3 years ago, I thought it was like, oh, this guy seems interesting, I'll follow him. And it's a good almost year until Ingress came out. When he was involved, I'm like, well, that was a coinkydink, wasn't it? And he likes spinning Firewire though.
That was Ada suggesting him to you for your circles.
Maybe it was the picture of Firewire. Silly.
Yeah, it's making for some very interesting changes in gameplay. Honestly though, what about that Portal virus?
Oh, the Dever virus.
Yeah, that's a big change.
So, they alluded to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before you guys can talk, I just want to let you know I'm still paying attention. I just have to recharge a bunch of portals now.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's causing Andrew to do that over there is they introduced the Dever virus, which in the storyline, which I horrifically resent with all my being, but can't help but follow.
It's pretty much all of us.
She threatened to inoculate people against it, and 1 in 5 would die, and
Etc. etc.
really it would happen. So she talked about this, but instead of that, at the end of Interitus, there was a video that popped up where she was pretending to look at a portal that she couldn't possibly see because they're not real, and it disappeared. It grayed out. She's like, look, it burned out. And so where it took an average of 7 days for a portal to degenerate by itself, it now takes 3.
Oh.
So it's over.
Portals are losing 33% of their charge in a day.
So it's a 200% increase. On the upside, though, no matter how much I recharge, is it IQ Tech?
Yes, I think so.
IQ Tech. I could be wrong. I think it's IQ Tech, though. No, IQ Tech makes power cubes. The people who make power cubes in the world of Ingress, IQ Tech, have doubled the production and distribution of power cubes. What that means is I started out with 0 power cubes last week, and I now have almost 200 level 8s from casual farming. So I actually can't use them faster than I'm getting them. Which...
You're not trying hard enough.
I think that's like keys. It's like what happened with keys before. Now there's just too many of them.
Well, they've slowed that down.
Yeah, I've got they have slowed it down because I went and when my friend was getting her hair done at SCC, I went and took all of SCC that wasn't already taken, upgraded what needed upgraded, and linked as much as I could, and it wasn't that, you get a key if you don't have a key thing anymore, so all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is not working well.
I still get it pretty good, but when I'm trying to farm a key, what I'll do is I will use 4 heat sinks total. If I'm trying to, by myself, trying to get keys, and a Jarvis. Because with that, you can do hack, drop it, heat sink, if you just want to get them out of the way quick. You can immediately get those 3 hacks, Jarvis will blow it up, then repeat the process. As needed as many times, but it depends on when you're trying to get it.
And how many heat sinks you have, because you always have too many fucking mods.
Yeah, I usually sit on around 500 mods at any given time.
I'm not willing to use more than 200 of my inventory.
I dump 150 of them every week to a local player, and I cannot get rid of them.
That's crazy.
And here I am trying to farm link camps for a field one time.
I got 2 in a row yesterday. I was so happy.
Yeah, here Simon was what, 60 link camps one time?
I used to until we pulled the Spokane Falls debacle.
Oh, that was such a great thing.
So,
Why don't you explain that for the listeners at home?
I still have rosy memories of this. So, what they used to do, it was April Fools, wasn't it? It was April Fools in Seattle. There's this thing that we locally call the Kohlhoff. It's not related to anyone. And what that is a link camp can make a portal useless if you put 4 of them on there because it takes up all the mod slots. It's like, pretty much like filling the inside of your car with concrete in Ingress. It's undraggable.
Pretty much,
Yeah. People call it the rock at the bottom of the candy bag. So, you deploy level 1s on a campfire, so close to the nuclei of the portal. Then
good word.
Nuclei. Then you put 4. It takes 2 people to do this properly. 4 link amps. Then you Jarvis it. So this is really good for home portals. But if you have the absurd resources to do it for an entire farm, you can do it to the entire farm. You Jarvis it, and then it becomes an unamoddable, easy to kill portal. So we did this. We used 80 link amps. We must have used 80 link amps. I think 88 link amps and 22 Jarvises on the Spokane Falls Community College campus. And
which is typically
a very
strong farm.
So we killed it, did that, and I remember it was the player Tick and I. And we kept getting nasty messages for about a week. And like, this is beneath you. This is a personal attack. How dare you? I'm like, yeah.
Oh, personal attack. You know what a personal attack is?
I can think
Punch
of
in the face.
Yeah.
Stalk him to the work and try to get him fired.
Taking pictures of me in the park downtown, sending it back to a council of people so I could be identified, so you could approach me and tell me my name before I introduced myself. That could be a personal attack.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened though.
Oh man, this game brings out the creepiest in everybody.
Just certain people.
Yeah, I don't think everybody.
Yeah, and my theory on that side of things, if it's done in game outside of comms, if it's done with a portal, it's not a personal attack.
Yeah,
it is
absolutely.
It is the
usage
game.
of the game.
Yeah.
Personal attacks happen on Google Plus. Happen with words being said in comms.
Or
in person, getting flipped off for no good reason, getting called a fag once,
or hanging out in front of someone's motorcycle while you're eating chicken strips. That's always fun. Get a gang of 10 people around some guy's motorcycle. You know who you are. So
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying.
You should have been there. It was great.
It was. It really was.
There's a local player who owns a ghillie suit.
Oh yes.
Who he lent it to someone in Montana, and they were actually.
That wasn't him?
No, that was the person who I was describing who was taking pictures of me. So he was walking around Montana on the campus. I can't remember what campus it was. It was the big campus in Helena, Montana. Forgive me, Montonians. I do not recall.
Also, forgive him for calling you Montonians.
Montanians?
Montanites.
Montanites.
You mountainous people, you.
Montanite sounds like someone who goes to a church on Tuesdays. They worship the applesauce, Montanites. So, essentially, this guy was walking around a college campus in a ghillie suit, which, if you don't know what a ghillie suit is, I would recommend you Google it right now under images.
And tell me it doesn't look like he's cosplaying as a bud of weed.
Or a sniper trying to go on a shooting spree on a college campus in the capital of a city, of a capital of a state. That's another crazy one, right? I mean, so he was threatened. The security guard approached him, asked him what he was doing, and pulled out his taser. And immediately that portal was removed from the anomaly.
Wow.
They said that it can't be in the game because it wasn't fair. It would have been fair if the guy would not have been wearing a sniper uniform from Desert Combat. So
Jungle Combat, it was green.
it was.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Would it be like, I can't say that. There's urban combat, then there's like outdoor combat?
Non-urban combat.
Non-urban
Let's just go with
combat.
non-urban.
So,
By the way, I noticed you weren't kidding, because now that farm is charged. Good job, man.
so iOS is an exciting development in Ingress. We will look back at it as one of the hurdles, like capsules, that we long awaited. And I think
Capsules, mass recycle.
mass recycle I wasn't expecting. When that happened, I was like, jaw dropped.
I'm still disappointed by capsules.
They're really useful for if you're playing, like, for instance, I had way more level 8 resonators than I could use today.
Mm-hmm.
So I dropped 3 capsules full of them to Simon.
Well, yes.
So for something like that, they're
And-
invaluable.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't group play as much as I used to, just because, schedule and life and whatever, but, like, when it would have been useful to me was when I was dropping, like, a bajillion resonators and everything for you
Mhm.
when you were on your 8 run.
And then
That
I
would
did
have
the
been
same for
incredibly
you the next
helpful.
week.
Exactly. But now I don't have people I'm dropping stuff for the most part, and like
Kind of the people that
like
really
I
matter,
really feel
yeah.
like I just need one, and then I'm good. I don't feel like I need a crap load of them, and I don't know. It doesn't help with the inventory issue, which is really
It actually hurts it.
would have been
Yes.
right because taking up space. So yeah. When I heard they were coming out, I was excited because I thought that it would make it so you could have more in your inventory. But
Honestly,
that's not
mass recycle makes them not even appealing to me at all. Because mass recycle is everything I wanted out of a cube.
Out
'Cause-
of capsule.
Capsule.
Yeah.
Capsule.
Okay, I use capsules in a different way, and for the way I use it, you have to have really at least 3. So I've got one capsule that I have dedicated to my non-Spokane keys, to the keys that I have for where I live in Elk and the farm I built in Newport.
Mm-hmm.
And
And when he
put
says
those
built,
keys-
he means they exist because of him.
every single portal in that city was either live at the beginning of the game or submitted by me, with the exception of literally one portal.
I was gonna say there's one.
There's one,
Hockey
but-
Dad's got you.
But it has my picture on it.
Was it a duplicate?
No, I
Rebecca
submitted
submitted
a picture, and then when we were at the farm, I had all 8 of us or 9 of us upvoted.
Wow.
Dirty cheater.
Actually, that farm. Okay, I'm going to diverge a bit, but we were talking about
Surprise!
we were talking about portal pictures and how I think that they should be incentivized to the point of being counted as a submission after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
A great example of why that needs to happen is the Newport farm. I'm really proud of it. All of the portals I submitted there are legitimate, accurately located, excellent.
Mhm.
But all of the pictures are pictures of their historical society plaques.
Mm.
I would have much rather submitted pictures of the actual buildings,
I
but
think
Ingress doesn't accept those pictures.
That's more of the problem,
Yeah.
isn't it? I think
Yeah.
that the problem needs to be from the ground up, because the problem is they'll take a plaque, but if you take a picture of the building with the plaque showable, I think that they don't even notice that.
Exactly.
A good example is Gonzaga University. What you see visibly at Gonzaga University today is 50, still at this point, even with other people, that's 50% of what Mark and I submitted.
Yes.
There's historic theme houses, there's halls,
Mm-hmm.
none of them are accepted because the sign looks like a road sign, let's be
Yeah.
real. The Gonzaga signs are like cut out sheet metal with
Yeah.
Yeah.
something screen printed on there. It looks like.
Well, the ones that I submitted at Newport were literally license plates.
Yeah.
They're that like black plastic you get from a dealership with something printed on it. They've even got the 4 holes. I think they literally just used those.
It sounds Newportian.
Yes, it does. New portion.
I was going to use that word, but I thought it would be really, really poor to use.
Also, apologize to anyone who lives in Newport.
All 40 of
The
you.
one guy who plays.
You both should upgrade my church.
Yes.
I can do that.
And then my roommate and Vervain here can do it.
You're talking about the one right here?
Yeah.
I should have an 8 and a 7 on there.
You do not.
Oh, well,
Wow,
that's
yeah,
changed.
true.
'Cause
Between all the people I have in my house right now, it could be an 8.
Yeah,
yes,
you're
we
right.
should walk up there
After the podcast.
Well, yes.
Or we could just carry the camera.
Yes. Ingress in action.
So at the
yeah.
end of the video content, folks, you're gonna see a special walkabout,
The mobile edition.
mobile edition. So okay, there were other things we wanted to talk about. John, what were those other things?
Okay, going back again to what we were talking about with the story. When we see these leaks from Brian Rose, Brandon Badger, Joe Philly, etc., these people, or even Anne Bettenmuller.
Even Anne.
Well, she's not from our hemisphere.
I've actually learned the most from reading her interviews.
Yeah, that's true.
She's the one who she dropped the RO timetable, which was if you were to show that article to people who complain about the game, they would shut up. Because she literally a year ago she said she listed every feature that is now in existence that people whine about. She said they're there.
I remember that.
But they go according to our timetable, so it'll happen when we say it happens.
Yeah.
That's why I've been like. Oh.
I feel like every time we get a leak from the Niantic employees, it's not so much a leak as it is them looking for feedback from the community without saying as much.
Like when Philly told me his stance on the morality of hacking Ultra Strikes artificially. I can't really say, but do you like them? Yep.
Yep. When GFY, Simon and I were in Seattle, we had pizza with Joe Philly and a couple Seattle agents.
Zeke's
I don't remember
Pizza.
their code name.
Go there.
Fantastic pizza. Really fantastic.
By the way,
pizza.
if Scott Manley ever hears this, come September, I'm buying you a beer back.
Yes.
I owe him a beer.
Yes.
And a lot, because he actually made the Spokane Resistance logo.
I'm gonna buy him some pizzas.
I'm gonna-
He bought our pizzas that night.
I will do what I love that guy. I like him. Met him once. That's all it took.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
Because it's guy love.
But yeah, we did bring that up. At that point, we all had our phones hacked to be able to say they were Motorola Droid Ultras so that we could get the Ultra Strikes.
Right.
And Simon point blank asked him, "Is this cheating?" And he goes, "What do you think of them?" Just completely avoided the
I
answer.
like to think that was the one item in the game that they're like, fine, you want this? All right, here, it's in the game now. It's stupid. But now they're actually a very crucial point
I
in the
have
game.
been a huge proponent of the Ultra Strike since they came out.
I liked them. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
They were great trolling tools, but now with the way shields are grossly overpowered, they're actually one of the most useful items in the game.
Well, and not just that. There was one time I was attacking, I believe it was Whitworth, and it was a 8 farm under really heavy recharge. Like, I'm firing off level 8 bursters on top of the resonator and getting negative percents because they were recharging faster than a level 8 burster could go. I think I was facing
That takes
recharge
a village.
from I think I was facing recharge from probably 6 to 8 players.
Wow.
Because this was back in the day when making an 8 farm was a big fucking deal. And
Like today's.
everybody...
Yeah, I was gonna say, it still kind of is. It's just...
No, remember...
It's
used
just a
to be-
little easier because
It's a little
there's more of
When
us.
we had Hilliard under attack, all of us would be, oh shit, it would be in the
Recharge,
chat.
recharge.
Everyone's
You
going
can
to
never
jump back
get
in
that
the
8th
chat.
person or that 7th and
Yeah.
8th person.
Yeah.
So you get those missing, and now you're fucked for a farm for
Yeah.
a while.
We were actually talking about getting t-shirts. Mr. Blueberry and I were talking about getting t-shirts to say, damn, we almost had 8. Or okay, his favorite line is
Spokane Resistance.
one away.
We're one away.
We're one away, yes.
Yep.
I think
We were-
I've had that discussion with Joe as well.
As have I over at SCC.
Yep.
Which jackass dropped media in my house, by the way?
That wasn't me. I dropped a bunch in Hilliard.
We have had a discussion about littering in my house.
I dropped you 5 cubes.
I
picked
picked it up, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
I was hoping
Yes,
you pick
I
up
have all
media
5.
too. I'll pick it back up.
You should have filmed one of the capsules with media.
That would be an excellent use of a capsule.
Here's a
Here's a trash can
Here's
full
a-
of trash.
Oh wow! Did you guys know that when you're recycling media, it only does it by the media? It doesn't group all of them
because
together.
the medias
Yeah.
are unique things.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's kind of lame. Thankfully,
if I
there's
subscribe to
not-
News of the Day, I should not be hacking media. That's the rule.
Oh,
Amen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I
Did
feel
it finally
like
take the
I
stupid
don't-
ass recruit pop up away? Because I haven't seen it.
No, I don't think so. Because I think
It's
I
still
saw
there.
it yesterday
It's
or
still there.
earlier today. Sometime
How many
recently.
How many invites do you have left?
I have
Like-
10.
I think I've got 5 or 7.
Just make some Gorilla mails and send them to him.
see, my problem is they took my contacts out. Like, I go into I get rid of them and just invite 6 random people to get rid of the ones I've got. They don't have my contacts in here anymore.
How the hell
different.
did you do that?
I don't know.
Like, I've had a hard
Ah,
time. There are people that I have wanted to remove from my contacts that I cannot get to go the fuck away. I don't want to see your face anymore when I'm scrolling through here.
Okay, so you get one. You get one.
You
get an invite! You get an invite!
Okay,
Everybody gets.
I should have been a little bit more conservative about that. I just sent my daughter's former kindergarten teacher one.
What was the word? Former? Doesn't matter.
Hey, she sent our kid to the principal's office 3 times.
Then that means she should get 3.
She deserved it. But
Speaking
still.
of going from one meme to the source, there's a new player that I met the other night whose name is the new Oprah. Except he pulled a squishy and he misspelled it opera, so it's the new opera.
Good job, new squishy.
So he'll be putting in a name change so that he can be the new Oprah instead of. I think it's it might be the new white Oprah. I
Is
could
it-
be wrong.
Gosh.
Is it just missing the H, or did he actually put the E in there too?
I think.
I really hope it was. Oh,
I don't know.
someone.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of how Oprah's spelled. I never. By the time of the show.
All right, guys,
Well, actually, fun story. Oprah's name is a misspelling.
I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
so we have any of your final thoughts before we move on to the other recording?
Ingress iOS is good.
Guardian. I want to talk about Guardians.
Oh, I know.
Simon has had a traumatic experience with Guardians.
You got yours, man. It's not fair.
I got mine and then I got it to 212 days.
Yeah. Yours was stupid though.
I have
Yours was-
35 days, so fuck you all.
Yeah, I have
Well,
28.
see, okay.
The worst
My problem
was
with-
I got to 147 days, and then it was targeted. But I'll get back to that story. You go because it's long-winded.
The
Yes.
problem with Guardians is the game runners have come out and specifically said they don't think Guardian hunting should be a thing. The problem with it is that Guardian hunting is really heavily incentivized right now because 150 days is a long-ass time, but compared to the other black medals, it's the easiest. You need 2 black medals to hit level 16.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get Recharger, which is easy and tedious, and
Tedious.
yes,
Easiest.
I
Better than
that.
teasing.
Tedious. And you get Guardian, and you now have your 2 black medals.
Right.
Those are both kind of easy to get, but it's possible with some really simple scripting to make a Guardian hunting script.
Tool.
A tool or a script that will tell you these are all of the portals that have long holding dates, and these are who owned them, this is where they are. And then people can go and say, oh, this one's getting close to 150, better go kill it. And the game runners have said they don't want this to happen.
Let me just say that's if people don't know the history of the Nobel Peace Prize, you should look it up because that's literally what this is. So I would do that.
It's grossly incentivized because it's one of the only easy ways to hit level 16. So you want to keep the other side from getting level 16 players.
That's really realistically,
They're
means
not
nothing. It's there's
I know.
no-
I was like,
yeah,
there's no
it's
real
literally
reason.
all you're doing is you're keeping someone from getting Employee of the Month for the week. That's
But
it.
not
That's
yet.
literally it.
It doesn't mean anything yet. Brandon Badger has specifically
Going
said
by the
there
timetable
will
of
be,
Badger hits, it will be 2016 by the time we see a reason to be level 16.
Yeah, it'll also probably be 2016 before any of us hit 16 except for you.
That's a lot of AP. That's more than twice what I have now.
Yeah, it's a lot of AP. But especially if you're talking about players that play in a larger city, there are people that already have that AP and have
Yeah.
for months.
Superman in Seattle. He knows he's not going to get Guardians, so he is actually, I think last check, 3 weeks out. He's been grinding. He is very close to gold deploy or black deployer.
Jesus
Christ.
Yeah. He works at Amazon, gets up work every day, and just farms for 2 hours straight. I think he plays
Wow.
6 to 7 hours a day.
So he's
Nonstop.
basically like you when you were grinding for 8.
When I worked 5 hours a day at
Yes.
a dead-end job, yeah.
Mhm.
10 hours of Ingress a day. That's how to live.
But yeah, if they were to take Guardian and just click it over to Guardian no longer counts for meddling unless it's one that you've already got. Because the people that already got it, they put in a lot of work for it.
Yeah.
They deserve to keep it.
Or-
Well, that's the thing. Like, I feel like if you can get it, you should get. So, it should be something. It should be a medal or whatever. But when we've talked about this before, they need to come out with more medals to make this possible, rather than
Yes.
the ones that they have.
Yeah. There needs to be more medals.
We'll be right back. Hey there, fellow geeks. Thanks for taking the time to listen to our podcast. Did you know that the Dracarium offers tech services as well? Do you have a computer problem? Would you like your computer to run faster? Are you looking to finally break away from the boring, lackluster pre-built computers and finally have one that suits you for your exact needs? Look no further than the Dracarium to help. We offer a wide array of diagnosis and repair of your current system and also have one of the most comprehensive and personalized system building processes available. No matter where you're from, we can build you a computer and get it to you. Find more information at celebrategeek.com/services. That's celebrategeek.com/services.
All right, we're back. Let's keep talking. What were we talking about? Okay, so we were talking about
the
Guardians.
fallacy of Guardians.
Okay.
Yes, we were talking about Guardians, but I think we've pretty much talked about Guardians. It shouldn't be a medal that counts for the game unless there's a serious mod that lets you take it out of the game. Or they need to do some very serious changes to how the Intel map works on computers.
Which would require a very serious revamp of almost the entire Intel system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only way they'd be able to do it would be to have like a native app.
Well, and with that new virus, it's also making it more difficult that way.
Mhm.
Everything is working against that medal.
Yeah.
And even the game itself now is working against people getting that medal.
I would like to see a mod that you can only ever have one of, that you can put on a portal that makes it invincible for like
180
say,
days.
7 days, maybe 7 days, maybe 2 weeks. Granted, realistically, this would suck, but the idea is,
Okay,
or that maybe like
with
one
no
person
links.
in a
With
city,
no links. With no links.
and you can't. What it does
no,
is it does
because
that.
then
it-
somebody else could link it and fuck it up.
No, it would be linkable. Though.
The
Yeah,
mod
yeah,
would,
it's
with the
illegal.
mod would remove the availability to link it, and on that 14th day, the portal would then become vulnerable for an hour for your cooldown to put another one on.
Now see, I find that that sounds good in theory.
But
But
then
at the same
all
time-
We have farms built like that.
Exactly. And we've seen what happens when you have a week-long farm show up. It fucks the balance of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
We
called
built
Hannah
one.
Montana.
I had 1,700 level 8 bursters.
Wow.
I literally dropped everything except for my level 8 resonators, and I dropped all but 300 of those. Between Ultra Strikes and level 8 bursters, I had 1,700.
It's a boring inventory.
It was really fun, and it got me 3,000 destroyed resonators in one day. I just went up Monroe, through SFCC, just through downtown. I'm like 5 blocks away from my portal, and I'm hitting 1%, but I'm like, fuck it, I've got 1,500 of these bitches!
Were you playing the Smurfs theme song that day
Yes.
too?
Yes, windows down, Smurfs theme song, and Ingress.
Windows down, Smurfs up. Quote of the day.
That's the new Spokane Resistance.
Now,
So we're just gonna have
Executive decision.
an ugly Applebee's style smock that we wear to farms. There's all these off-centered quotes, in different fonts. We have the one that looks like the one that looks like a rubber stamp they rolled across the back. Smurfs up, windows down.
you're getting close, but what we have,
We just still use smock. I love the word smock.
what we do is we have a smock, but it's got a doge in the middle, a blue doge.
Oh yes.
Great.
Much Smurfs. Windows down, Smurf up.
Greg wore a Dogecoin shirt to the Hilliard Farm the other night, and people will get. He's one of my favorite players. The Enabler. He's one of my favorite players, and he will soon no longer be with us. He'll be moving to.
He's got cancer.
Stop.
No, he's got.
He gets cancer now. You're
He's
gonna
got
feel like an
SPO
asshole.
cancer. He'll be moving to Olympia soon. So,
Oh, that's not better.
well, he's also in the BRN because he travels so much, and he's just a badass guy. So
He really is. He's a really cool guy.
He's in the top 10
Yeah.
of people.
You're not.
Sorry.
Whoever's listening.
Yeah, everyone, that wasn't directed to Andrew. That was directed to the listeners.
I was like,
Because the eye contact kind of threw me off.
yeah.
I was like, wow, that was a really directed stare. I actually thought it was
Okay,
a meme.
so-
So
There's another way that I think they could fix Guardian.
Can I tell you mine first? Mine's quick.
Yes.
So I have this idea for portal medals where it's more of a mixture, right? And I know why she's laughing now. So it's more of a mixture where you could say Black Guardian could be 150 days.
Mm-hmm.
For a portal, it could be a month for a field,
Yeah.
or it could be 60 days for a link,
Yeah.
or it could be a combination of all those three simultaneously, but they're greatly reduced.
yeah.
Now, I
Even
think
though
that
field would
that's...
kind of
Yeah, field or link, honestly,
Yeah.
you'd have to have
Yeah.
the portal that whole time too. So.
yeah.
Yeah. The thing about... I think that the best way
Maybe
to
three
kill
people
that
now.
Well,
is to introduce more metals. There is a glaring destruction-shaped hole in the metals.
Oh,
Okay.
100 Benjamin,
So
100%.
there is a...
Who's?
I love the way
He
Simon
had a
talks.
stroke and thought that forgot
So-
John's name all of a sudden.
Okay, so there is a resonator's
When I get
destroy.
excited, I call you Benjamin.
Trademark. When I say 100%, I say Benjamin is like a $100 bill.
No, I got
Okay,
it.
so
It's my thing.
for,
No one else can say it now.
for building, you have the number of hacks, which isn't really building. You've got resonators deployed, links created, control fields created. You've got portals captured, you've got uniques captured. And related, you have unique portals visited.
Right.
For combat, you have resonators destroyed. That's it.
Yeah.
And
there
when
should be a
we-
fields. There should be a links.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably something else that I can't think of right
There
now.
should be an enemy fields destroyed,
There should be
enemy links destroyed,
neutralized. Portals neutralized.
portals neutralized. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because mine's like, I don't want to toot my. Oh no, mine's not really that great when I look at it.
I don't want to toot my mediocrity.
Yeah, well, I don't want to toot my shortcomings.
Well, I'll make yours feel better. My portals neutralized is 1593.
I'm curious.
Yours is more than 1593. I guarantee.
I know mine's nowhere near that.
Almost 4,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually isn't that much higher when you consider that you've got what, double and a
What's
quarter.
your links neutralized?
Links neutralized is 1634.
4,300.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make both y'all feel bad. Portals neutralized 298.
Yeah. See, I'm much more of a destruction focused player.
But
I enjoy making fields.
mhm,
I don't enjoy building portals.
yeah.
I enjoy building portals. That's why.
I really enjoy like making onion fields, etc. I don't find the whole deploying thing to be that appealing.
yeah.
I think we should all post our player screens along with this.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
That's a
Yes.
good idea.
My links destroyed is 978 so that's a
Yep.
huge difference. And
So,
Yeah,
because
that's
some,
actually. Yeah.
some people go out specifically to kill links and fields. And those people right now are kind of backwards penalized. They're penalized by not being... How did I know that was going to be your reaction?
You could say they're micro penalized.
oh my
Oh.
gosh.
But no, it's like there's so much of an incentive for building right now that it's changing playstyle.
Yeah.
Longest link ever created.
Oh, John's probably gonna win this one.
No, that's
7
wrong.
inches. Wait, what?
Let's see. My longest. Where is that?
Where is that?
It's
Oh, there
right.
it is.
It's four from the bottom, 5 from the bottom.
Longest link ever created?
No, longest is in building.
Mm-hmm.
It's in building.
And 5 from the bottom of the building.
It's right
Yes.
about in the middle.
Yeah.
Mine's 294 kilometers.
129.
60.
317.
Okay, now
Spokane to
okay.
Seattle once.
If we are doing EPeen measuring, how many mind units have you captured?
Oh, this is.
I'm not
stupid.
answering that.
Simon, you're probably
10,000.
closest to me.
10,000.
Where?
1.9 million, bitches.
173,000. How do you only have 10,000? You
I'm not a fielder.
you never
Yeah.
field.
Josh Villers. I'm sorry. The Pink Claw of Chaos. He just got his gold mind controller. I still don't have mine. I'm still 101 away.
And for the listeners at home, Villers has been playing for how long?
Collectively and consistently, I'd say
Consistently.
Less
than 6 months. Yeah.
I'm 225 away from my gold mine controller.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
see, and so I have 60 million
Yeah.
points.
I'm only halfway to my silver. But
It's
I almost got my gold linker. Gee.
Yeah. People like Andrew, people like Villers are builders. I'm a destroyer. I'm a destructive personality. I like to load shit up.
so I am solely a builder. I try to link, but I get so frustrated with keys. I dump my keys.
You are a deployer. Other people are fielders. I really enjoy
you are
fielding.
deployable.
Yeah.
Where are all your puns, man? Everybody's taking them.
I'm sorry. So I'm coming up on 40,000. I'm 600 shy of 40,000 deploys.
Jesus Christ, man.
Now here's
Hey,
the
I got
kicker.
14,000.
Here's the kicker. So how many people have their gold linker in this room?
Almost. Almost.
So here's the
I don't.
thing. I got mine September 17th of last year. It's my second oldest medal. If I get that mind controller the oldest, I figured out the way that happened is back when I worked at the good old Young Men's Christian Association. The Y.
I remember this because I ran into
There's
you
a
downtown
period
so many
where
times.
my car was stolen, so I decided to walk the 40 block round trip every day. So
Uphill in the snow.
Both ways.
With no shoes.
So I was pretty lucky in the fact that I was allowed to Maxfield Riverfront Park every day. So I would just literally link this, link the shit out of that thing
I've
every
said
single
fuck
day.
like 20 times
I know,
already.
I'm like,
It's for character. It's supposed to look like the reserve person.
The young man Christians player.
Yeah, I quit there for a reason. Yeah, so
Fuck that.
Yeah.
that place was bad. Don't work there ever. So it got me a lot of links really fast. That's it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've been stuck with that medal now for a year.
I
and I've only
remember
gotten
watching
2,000.
you, like, I could track you down on the, in the scanner, because there would literally be a trail of links behind me. It was like, I'm linking to the portal behind me. Now I'm linking
See,
to
I
the
made
portal
all those
behind me
links,
again.
and I never made fields. That's the thing.
Yep. That's because I did that.
Yeah. That's why I yet to have that. But
John came along behind you and closed off all your
I would
gaps.
say by the end of the week, I would only have.
I like filling in squishy scabs.
By the end of the week, I'll only have 2 silvers left. And I heard that.
I purposely didn't laugh too much just to wait.
Yeah. There was a line coming.
But yeah, so if they did 3 or 4 destruction medals, I don't think that
Honestly,
Guardian would be as big of a
Shouldn't
deal.
every stat in there be its own thing? Because if you look at that, you look at building.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? There's another one.
Yeah.
Total mine units.
Oh, that one
I-
specifically.
That one,
Mm-hmm.
more than any other medal in the game, I
You call
watched.
it contributor even, or like team player, because
Yeah.
that's like the whole goal is like mine units. Sadly.
Yeah.
Well, and mind units captured goes by whoever created the last link.
And I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
So that one maybe
I'm-
shouldn't be the medal.
They're mad. Okay. They want us to build all these big ass fields. That's their big ass thing. It's big ass fields. Big ass fuckers.
Bath.
There is
Mhm.
no medal for largest amount of mine
Yes.
units.
That should be one, but I don't think it should be counted the way it's counted in the app.
Because if they introduced it now, there'd be people who'd be like, "Oh, hey, roll over, I'm black."
Well,
Megalodon people?
I would probably be, at least silver.
At least silver.
Maybe even gold.
I would say million would be silver. I think that you would have to have. I think that platinum would at least be $1 billion, maybe $2 billion for black.
I don't think it'd be quite that.
Collectively, that would
Possibly.
incentivize massive fields.
Well, it depends on how they
continuously.
count it. If they count it the way they do now, it would have to be that. But the problem with that is it does take a team to do it. You're talking for a true BAF, you're talking 8 players on. You're talking 8 players on each portal.
You need to take
It's a regular
Now,
bathhouse.
Now look at your current stats tab. When it shows you the number of MU, that is not based on the person that.
The person that.
Keep going.
The person that.
I have a 6-year-old. Surprise! She has no tact.
It is the. Parody. So when you do the.
Phil Nicholson does it. I mean, come on, that guy's a douchebag. Anyone can do it.
Okay. When you look at your current stats, it doesn't give you what you got for this last link. It gives you total size of field divided by 8, and then times your resonators. So if you have 1 resonator on it, you get 12.5% of that field. If you don't have any resonators on it, you don't get anything.
Well, see, that's crap though, because you can link off of 2 portals that you didn't put any resonators on.
Yeah.
And that's not your fault.
At that point, I think it should.
That's-
Actually, it might be just you get 12.5%.
That's a dark formula. I don't like that. That's not good.
Well, at the same time, we had. Let's see.
I think it depends.
3 players. When we did the big field that I got all the credit for because I made all the final links, we had 3 players in Idaho that made that link. We had 3 players that made the portal in Colodus, and then I deployed all the portals and link amped them at the top. So they didn't get credit for
Right.
that field
They
on
definitely need to make it so more people get credit for those. I mean, especially the giant ones like that. The little ones in town,
they could even
half the time
kind of
those
do
happen by
both.
accident. But
Like
Yeah.
maybe make the final link count for the full value of the field, and then do that additional value on the
right,
others.
yeah, give the 12.5% or whatever you're
Yeah.
saying.
So each of the Colodus and Mullen portals in that field had between 2 and 3 resonators from each player on it.
yeah,
So at that point, yeah, they totally deserve a third of.
right. Well, and I think part of it needs. I mean, it would have to be super complicated to make it really, really fair. But part
Have you
like
played this game?
Yeah, right.
well,
Have you seen
Yes.
the last few stats on the page? They're all super complicated.
yes, but I mean, if they were to do it for especially these big ones, look at the timing of when the resonators were placed on the portal.
Yeah.
If it was clearly right then and then linked, then obviously they're all working together. Should all get equal credit. In other situations, it's harder to figure out if that's
Or
what's happening.
This
And not
goes-
that I'm saying I don't want credit for crap I didn't actually do just because I had a resume.
based upon that,
But-
this goes back into Philly speak. When I talked to him, the request that I wanted, the feature that I wanted that requested, was a friends list.
Yes.
With that friends list, I hate to delve down this rabbit hole, but you can almost introduce RPG style party lists, like
Yes.
like a field party, a fielding party.
Mm-hmm.
Then at that point, if you wanted someone who wasn't going to contribute on your party, then you just divided them up equally. It would hurt you, so you have to deliberately invite them there.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
That's
but
that
would-
is
that
a
would
legitimately
be-
great idea.
Yeah.
they just come to me.
Like,
I can't
you know-
help it. Just watched over me.
Right now, we don't know what missions are really going to look like.
Yeah.
I hope that
We
it's
don't
a
really
precursor
know.
to that.
That would actually be a great way to do it, is to set up your own mission. Say, this is, let's use the first op that we really did in Spokane.
Let's
The Operation Little Blue Pill. We could name it, call it Operation Little Blue Pill, and say participants are these people. And what we're doing is the goal of this operation is, and then you choose from a list of options. The goal of this operation
let's
is.
think about where we could go with that. From that, you could take Google Plus Stories,
Yeah.
and you could do automated sit reps. It would take screenshots of specific links within that field. When you're in the middle of that, like you have a time frame, it could do the whole thing. It'd be beautiful.
Yeah. And now that
I'm gonna write a book for Phil and
yeah.
hand it to him. It's gonna be called "Read It or Else." Written in blood.
With a happy face at the bottom. Just
Written
kidding.
in blood. A happy face also written in blood.
Yes.
I used 3 different kinds of llamas to write that.
Is that an acronym for something? I really hope it is.
Right. 3 different kinds of llamas, or I use 3 different kinds of llamas to write that.
No, like llama would be an abbreviation for something.
Long live.
Ask me anything. It's a Reddit reference. You
Long
wouldn't
live all my
understand.
amps.
Oh, that was disappointing. Anyway,
I needed that negative validation.
so I kind of feel like we should make this a more regular thing. We always seem to have a lot of things to say.
We do.
But we are going to have to call it a wrap for now. So if you have more things to say, that'll be just more motivation for us to make this a regular thing. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me and everyone for listening. Have a great whatever time of day it is. Bad spending.